What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of the podcast. Hello, how are you today? I'm your host, Mitch Corbett. And look, we got a fancy new microphone if you're watching the visual style on YouTube. Again, this podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can find your own podcasts available. We are there. Thanks to Anchor. So shout out to them. This week we have my guest is Colin Winchester. He's a comedian in the London, Ontario scene. And we've bumped past many times. I think he has a unique voice in the comedy scene. I really enjoy what he's bringing to the table. He's only been doing it for a year. I've been doing it for a year and a half-ish, if that. So we're both fairly new at this game. And that's why I wanted to have him on. I wanted to see, what makes him tick, how he gets his writing going. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this conversation just divulges into us just shooting the shit, essentially. So there's no real information that is passed on to you guys from this podcast, because it just comes two guys, two comedians, if you will, going back and forth, talking shit and having a good time. And I love that sort of thing. So let's get to the conversation, quote unquote, with Colin Winchester.
Doing dry February, so yeah, I signed up for that one in December, not realizing how quickly February came around.
That was a poor decision.
Yeah, as he sips a beer.
It's good down my throat, my man.
That's all right. My weed intake's gone up like 1,000,000%.
Really? As you take a
I smoked like 5 joints at work last night.
So what do you do for work? Are you just like doing the Forest City Scum thing, or?
I do the Forest City Scum thing, and then I also do I'm kind of like a jack of all trades at Tilt London. So like I do security, I work the floor, I work the door, I do anything that they need. So it's pretty sick. I literally just get to like walk around and wipe tables and watch people play video games.
So if there was a casino movie made based on Tilt London, you'd be the Joe Pesci.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, motherfucker,
you. Who's your Robert De Niro? The one that's got to keep you in line.
I think it's Floppy Phil. Might be my Bobby D. The guy on my shirt taking a poop.
Jesus Christ. So, by the way, I'm wearing this for you because you're such a fan.
Yeah. Actually, I got a shirt.
The only time I ever did merch.
Give me 1 second. I got a shirt to show you as well.
And we're pausing the podcast as I will talk through the silence here as I watch a video of Chris Hemsworth all jacked up as fuck doing a.
Oh man, him playing Hollywood Hulk Hogan might be the best casting ever.
I don't want to see Hulk Hogan. I hate Hulk Hogan, actually, to be honest.
I think you've probably seen these from King Carden.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, for sure. Oh, my hometown. What a strange and wonderful place that is.
Oh, man. My grandfather played the stand-up bass. Like I guess it's not the stand-up bass, played like the big bass drum in every Saturday night parade growing up.
No, they didn't have a cello. Oh, no, you're talking about the big...
Like the pipe band, yeah, the big like douche.
Yeah, same thing you did to your grandmother. She'd see him in that kilt and she'd just go buck wild.
Hey man, I got that same kilt. I'm hoping. Nope.
All right, man. Well, if people don't know, this is my guest, Colin Winchester. He's a comedian here in London, Ontario, Canada. Dude, it's a pleasure to have you on because I've wanted to have you on for a while, but like, because I love your style of comedy because like you have a voice that is so distinctly unique in the scene. But like, how'd you find that voice exactly? And like, how long have you been doing it for?
I'm not even at a year yet.
Yeah.
I started last March. Just after we came out of lockdown, and I think I got to do it like 3 times, and then we got locked down again. And like I just go up there and I try. A lot of the times I try something different each time, and just You throw shit at the wall, one of them's gonna stick, I guess.
You hope. You hope it's a solid so you can throw it.
Yeah, exactly. And believe me, a lot of them have run through my fingers.
So like, what made you like, where's your like, because you're 33, you're my age, or
Yeah, 33 in December.
Oh, next December. Okay. So like, we're starting our comedy careers kind of late and everything like that, but yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You fucking learn, you got some life experience. What kind of like inspired you to do the whole damn thing? Because I mean, for me, it was like my friend St. Catherine just asking me to like, do you want to do a set? And I was like, sure. And I told some shitty jokes I made.
Really? I've been a fan of stand-up my whole life. Like growing up, it was just me and my mom. So I was always the like ADD ridden kid, always making fart noises and shit in the back of the class. So it was kind of, I guess, a natural progression. My mom put me on to like Steve Martin and I mean, to a lesser extent, Bill Cosby at the beginning. But like, I remember what really made me want to do stand-up was I got my grandfather a Bill Cosby cassette tape, and I watched him like put a pair of headphones on and just laugh his ass off and being like, I want to make somebody laugh like that.
Well, you got the first step in any successful comedian's journey as a single parent, so that's good. Yeah. Every successful has to have one dead parent, I think, is what the books say, sort of thing. Or one parent that's left, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like, so like, does that, like, with having that kind of like not having that father around, that sort of influence, I mean, does it help or hinder your comedy, do you think? Because you must have grown up with like not, I mean, I don't know, right? So like,
I grew up in a very funny family as is, and I'd say it kind of affected it, but I mean, all it really did was make me not good at sports. Like I grew up once my dad died, I lived with my aunt, my mom, and my two female cousins. So like I was just surrounded by pussy all day. Just, you know, I kind of, it was either like be funny or trans.
And you chose to be funny.
Yeah, you know, I've never been good at putting on nail polish and shit.
Dude, so. you chose the wrong path, because that thing is in right now. It's
fucking in. Hindsight's 2020, man.
You could have been a trans comedian. You would have been in.
Right? I would have been at the top of the game.
You would have been the first trans Canadian to have a comedy special on Netflix right now. Less than a year in the game. She's blown up huge.
Yeah, fuck.
No, it's you know, my wife and I are actually going next Thursday to Lavish Nightclub. And there's a trans or drag show. I think both. I think trans or drag can both perform. And we're super excited to go out. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna talk to the manager and be like, hey, would you guys be interested in like doing stand-up comedy at this venue?
Oh man, like, I would love to do stand-up at Lavish.
Yeah, but also think about this. I just like, so like with me personally, like as like, you know, my background as like a wrestling fan and wrestlers, that sort of thing. My background is also like, I love, like, I'm at the age where now I love like kind of just fucking with everyone. And I know the amount of people that would be uncomfortable going to something like that. And I'm like,
yeah,
it gives me joy because it makes their insecurities like out there. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think Lavish would be a blast. My mom went to a drag show at 765 like a couple months ago, and she just had like a blast. She like, her friend got kicked out and shit. I don't know. I don't know what you'll have to tell me what they do at these shows, because my mom said they just like lip sync the music and run around the bar.
Well, this is Lavish, right? So I think they've done these shows before. So I think it's more of a professional sort of thing. I think, well, it's also, I think, amateurs as well. So people do it for the first time. So that's why I was like, I'm hoping that maybe I can talk to them about doing like a drag / comedy show, something, or like an hour comedy show and then a drag show afterwards, sort of thing. I don't know. The possibilities would be so cool and fun and just different. Yeah. I love it.
Well, I mean, that's what they do on that drag race show is there's a lot of stand-up elements to it, right? Like from what I've never really seen a full episode, but like from girlfriends and my mom watching it, there's a lot of stand-up elements to like, I mean, it's just a little bit more razzle dazzle, if you will, right?
Well, I mean, so like, let me ask you this opinion then, because like I believe that I believe that anyone and everyone can and should be allowed to do stand-up comedy. And I keep hearing like people
100%.
say so and so shouldn't do it, or like they can't do that. It's like I think everyone if you have the balls to do it and go perform, do it. Because like the audience is supposed to be the judge of what is good comedy and not bad comedy. It's not the comedians. They don't get the judge. That's the audience. It's a one time where the audience you can visually tell if you're shitting the bed or doing well is by the audience reaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one, man. It's the one where it's like it's make or break that quickly, right? And I mean, I'd like to say that there's no right or wrong comedy. Everybody's got their own thing, right? They like, who are we to say what's funny to somebody else? I mean, the only time it gets bad is if you're purposely putting a certain group of people down, right? That's the only, like, something's gonna be funny to anybody across the world. You don't know who it's gonna break. You don't know who's gonna love it. Like I've broken over some of the most ridiculously stupid, insignificant things. Like someone dropping a piece of paper will get me for hours on end.
You were at the show where Santa Claus was doing the bit.
Yeah.
When he's like, I think what was the Indian comedian's name? Oh, Jesus Christ. He's like
on or something.
Not a Christian, technically a sin. Just fucking burst out laughing.
Right?
Like, and I couldn't believe that some people weren't laughing over it. It's like, it's a bit, guys. What are we doing? Yeah, and
here? I mean, but that's our jaded ass comedian minds, right? Like we aren't looking for just a regular joke anymore. We're looking for the weird, dumb, insane bit inside of a bit.
Well, what is your writing? Because like I said, you have a very unique voice. Like you've only been around for less than a year, and I've kind of been the same way with the London scene. Yeah. But like it's the way you spout the words, like how do you write the bits and stuff like that, if you will?
I don't really write a lot. Like I write down the gist, like I write down the gist of what I want to say up there, and I just kind of flow with it. I've never been good at writing. Once I get a piece of paper in front of me, I can't get the words to come from my brain. So but I don't know. My voice was just I've always been loud and kind of a dick. So like that's all I was like, I might as well just hold a microphone. I've always been told that I'm usually the one that doesn't need a microphone.
So, well, that's awesome. So how did you find out about comedy in London then? Because I mean, I had to go online and like look vigorously through Facebook just to find a comedy group to like find out how to sign up for stuff.
I had a friend that was in the London scene years and years ago, Peter Reed. I think he's like a reverend as well. But I would follow him when he was doing it when he lived in London. And then I just from following bars, I think it was right after the pandemic opened, and I think I was walking down Richmond and I looked at the sign out front of Poachers and it said like open mic comedy. So I went on the Monday and just watched it, and Aaron Stevenson right away was like, I can tell you want to do this. and so like I waited another week, I went and watched it again, and then I went up the third week.
Has anyone like in the scene approached you and commented on your comedy like in a negative or a positive way?
Yeah, I mean positive way. Like I've had guys come up and be like, "Man, that bit's funny," and like kind of give me like some tips and shit. But no, never in a negative way. And I mean, everybody would hear if they came up and said something in a negative way to me, because I'd probably fucking.
No, you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. You lived with women. You lived with 4 women. There's no way that you would just. You would take the amount of times that you probably got like not constructive criticism from your family. Yeah, exactly. Women can be very petty sometimes. Okay, I'm just.
My mom listens to every bit I do, And she'll tell me right away, man. And she'll be like, "Yeah, that shit with the girl in the wheelchair isn't worth it."
And then what do you say? He's like, okay, Mom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one night I had to cut. I was doing Oliver Twist one night, and I had like a good 2.5 minutes about somebody in a wheelchair, and like I'm not kidding you, 5 minutes before I go up, 2 people in wheelchairs fucking roll in and take a table.
You didn't bitch out. You did the joke, right?
I didn't.
Oh, come on, man.
No. And I didn't because I didn't want to like break up my my act. And sure enough, halfway through my set, one of the people in the wheelchair starts choking on their dinner, and I had to stop my set. I mean, I tried to keep going for a bit. Like, I think Sean Crichton has video of me, like somebody's literally choking in a wheelchair, and I'm standing there still doing comedy.
So like, it's so weird, the things that, you know, when you're up on stage, because you see the entire room and you can see what's happening, right? And like, it's such a weird dynamic because like, I've noticed that a few people like point out people and like attack people, like audience members, and they usually make the audience members leave, and I'm just like, but I wanted to perform in front of them. Can you maybe not do that?
These people and like just like maybe allow us to have 2 people in here.
Yeah, that aren't just comedians that won't laugh at our material because they're trying
like
to be better than
people that we don't know, we don't know their first name. I'd really like to make them laugh, maybe. I've seen people do it at spots like off the jump, like first comedian on, they get like 3 people to leave, walk people out, and you're like, oh, well, I guess it's just us again, guys.
Well, let's talk about it, right? Because like we perform primarily in front of other comedians, and it's annoying as fuck. It's so fucking annoying.
I love it. If you're not gonna make your peers laugh, then who are you gonna make laugh, right?
Yeah, but see, I think the peers that we have are, you know, like against the idea of having a good time sometimes.
Hey man, I've had some of the biggest piece of shit friends in the world, and whatever. If they're against having fun, you just gotta have more fun. That's the way I do it. It's like, oh, is me having fun pissing that dude over there off? Like, now we gotta amp it up to 20. like shots, everybody, like start talking to that dude's girlfriend.
That's probably the best way. When you brought your friend the Poachers and Noah just
yeah, I've had I've had to like train my friends over the last few months of like how to act at comedy shows.
How? Tell me.
I don't know. Like,
I want the details.
Don't make side jokes underneath the comedian up. You know what I mean? Like, don't try and better the joke.
I don't know. I have a problem with that actually, because like, oh, you saw me at the last Oliver Twist. I was kind of like, I was having too much fun, to be honest, because there weren't a whole lot of people there, and like it was New Year's Eve, and I just wanted to kind of like fuck with people a little bit.
Yeah, man, I had a blast that night. I had the kids with me and shit. That was fun. That was probably, and like I hadn't done a show in shit. I think it had been since like December 3rd was the last time I'd been up. And like I'm doing Oliver Twist again on Thursday, and yeah, I haven't been up since that night, since New Year's Eve.
I don't think anyone has. I think Yuck Yucks had a show maybe this weekend. I've signed up for Poachers on Monday, so
I signed up. I mean, everybody signed up for Poachers on Monday, right? So like that randomizer is going to be a fun one to see what happens on.
So like, let me ask this. So like, being like, what do you think of Canada and comedy? Canadians are some of the fun. So Canadians are some of the funniest, nicest people in the world. But it kind of seems, in my mind's eye, that the only way to be successful is to actually leave the country. I look at like all the great comedians that come from Canada. Most of them had to leave to find their success. Like, what do you think it is about it?
Well, I mean, like it's weird. It's you like you're. I guess you're right on one end of the spectrum, but like it's weird. They leave Canada to come back to Canada because like the best spot to be seen for a comedian is the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal, right? So like people like you leave Canada and you go to LA or New York, and then you got to come, and then it's all to get a spot in Quebec, so that all the American fucking agents and shit can see you. Like you look at Quebec around JFL, and it's like every single bar across Montreal has got a comedy show going on, and it's all Americans, right?
Yeah. Like, do you think? I mean, do you think that's a real thing though? Because like I've heard, like I listen to like a lot of the like I listen to comedians and podcasts all the times, and I hear about like some of the just the people that don't, not that they don't know comedy, but like you know what, I'm trying to explain it in an articulate way, but it's not working. But then there's people there that like think so and so has a look or something, but that doesn't translate to, you know, actually being a good comedian sort of thing. Like I've heard those stories.
That's where it comes down to, right? It's so hit or miss with like, I mean, what is a good comedian? Everybody's got a different thought on that one. Do you like a prolific guy like Chappelle, or like do you like a fucking swing for the fences Jesselnick kind of shit?
Well, so like I think I think in my personal opinion, a good comedian is someone who is real, if that makes sense. Like they speak from an honest opinion and an honest like take, as opposed to like, but they also can make shit up at the same time. But a lot of their material comes from like a sense of like inside their soul. Because you can see like comedians and they're just doing like bits, but like there's no heart in it, sort of thing.
Yeah, like almost doing like the old like Bob Hope kind of shit, where they just do like it's just it's the same routine every single time.
At the same time, though, Bob Hope is a legend, and I will not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I'm not shitting on Hope here.
No, but I think that's the thing. I think that's the great thing about the evolution of comedy, though, is that like, you know, it was very gimmicky early on, and then like
real hokey, man, real hokey.
And like I feel like to be a successful comedian now is like you have to have some realness, some like some real shit go on in your jokes that, you know, people can identify with. I'm not saying that, you know, talk politics all the time, but I mean like it has to come from a place of like authenticity.
Yeah, and I'm not big on the politic talk. Like, I mean, and I like the guys that like once I've laughed at something once, I'm not laughing at it again. You know? I can't rewatch. Like I mean, from time to time you can rewatch a Raw or like Delirious. You know what I mean? There's certain specials that are timeless. But like once I've laughed at something once, like I'm not gonna go and fucking pay $200 to see Jerry Seinfeld and see the cigarette butt and the mashed potatoes joke every single time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's the experience of seeing them, but like.
I don't think I'd ever like, so like we had tickets to go see Tom Segura. I had to go see Bill Burr, and like, cause like I love this idea of like, you know, the comedians like putting in the work themselves and doing it themselves. Like they hire their own camera crew, they do their own vlogs, they do their own specials on YouTube. They're not letting someone tell them they can or cannot do anything that they don't want to do, sort of thing. And I think
like they're running their future, yeah.
And I think that's
Mark Norman and Sam Morril are really good. Like they just both put out some specials on YouTube that are like insane. Mark Norman is a killer, man.
Yeah, 100%. That he just released one 6 months ago that was just hilarious. And then he did the Netflix spot where it was the 15-minute sets. The Comedian season 2.
Degenerates or something.
Yeah, and I love that. Like I think that's what I'm talking about when I talk about authenticity. Is like they're not letting someone else dictate their future and what they can or cannot do as a comedian or a performer, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, I mean, who are we to fucking judge it, right? We're two London comics.
No, so like we can judge it because we actually put ourselves out there to do it, so we have some sense of it. I mean,
I just love going out and making people laugh. Like I could literally just sit in London for the rest of my life and fucking work a dead end job as long as there's a spot every Monday or something.
Dude, what we need you to do is we need we need to get like you some big goggles, a fedora, and we need to get you to be a manager for a wrestler, and where
I
you
mean,
can just you
yeah,
can
I
get
can
that
do that. I can
where,
definitely be a manager for a wrestler.
where you can get the joy of just shitting on people.
Who's
as
that
a bad
little guy,
guy.
Jimmy Hart? I always loved Jimmy Hart.
Or a Jim Cornette style type of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you wear just like you only wear like a tied up bedazzled vest, but nothing else underneath with a fedora and a bow tie.
Yeah, man, I could definitely do that. That's for sure.
Because I don't know, what like we're just kind of bullshitting on this podcast, but like where do you find your joy from performing? Because you always said that you were like always the loudmouth when you're younger.
I think it's actually performing. Like I love the nervousness, like the nervousness beforehand and the high after you get off. Like once you get off that stage, like even if you bomb, there's a high after bombing that's just like, holy shit, I guess I just did that. And it's my favorite thing in the world.
And do you like, so like with comedy, like it's such a unique experience because, and I liken it to wrestling because like, unless you're like part of a tag team, it's just you and it's literally just you. So it's like, you have to succeed or fail. It's like, there's no one else covering your ass.
Yeah. You can't pull the chute and there's no parachute, you know, you gotta stick the landing or just crumble when you fall.
So like, where is it easier for us because we're white that we feel like we can't fail?
Well, I mean, it's definitely in our favor. I mean, I don't like to think that I got more of a chance than anybody else, but
I mean, I feel like you look at the amount of like men and white men that are in comedy, and it's like, man,
yes, it's an oversaturated market. That's
we need to take those numbers just down a little bit. Just like we need to inflect some new life or some.
But I mean, everybody's. Yeah, I guess it really is oversaturated.
I literally went to my friend Richard, who's like a training for be a wrestler, and he's black. And I'm like, hey Richard, do you have any friends of yours that would want to come and do comedy? Because I mean, you're a funny dude, you're athletic, you gotta have some friends. Because goddamn, we need some new blood in the scene. We've been here for
that's just London, though, right? Like you go to Toronto, it's diverse, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, our little neck of the woods. I mean, this is also London, Ontario, right? Where this is racist as shit. we're in the deep south, apparently.
Oh my god, maybe that's why my wife doesn't want to leave the house very often.
I wouldn't either, man. I usually don't want to leave the house.
I don't know, man. I love leaving the house. I love getting outside. I love not being in my cave.
In your corner of Avalanche memorabilia.
I got some Bill stuff and wrestling and.
All right. I had friends over last week for the Royal Rumble. And man, was that disappointing. The worst part was I read this synopsis online during the day, and they were like, we're thinking that Brock Lesnar is going to lose the belt and then come back and win the men's Rumble, and that Ronda Rousey's going to return as a surprise entry, and like everything came to fruition. I was like, man, I really wish I didn't watch that shit beforehand.
Did you read who was supposed to win the Rumble?
No.
So it got changed the day of, but Matt Riddle was supposed to originally win the Rumble.
Who's Matt Riddle?
RKO bro, man.
Oh my god, the guy that's been hanging out with Randy Orton.
So they was
we were calling him George of the Jungle.
Yeah, they were gonna do Randy versus Riddle at Mania for the belt.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We literally watched it because of Johnny Knoxville, and he was in and out in 4 seconds.
By the way, have you watched the new one yet? I think you said you were.
No, me and Phil are going on Monday at 5.
Shit, I'm working. Balls. It's it's funny, like wrestling and I find there's a lot of similarities between professional wrestling and comedy in the sense that, like, the top performers are the top performers, but also like the bottom performers. There's a lot of ego involved with like being a lower level performer.
Almost more than not, right? Because everybody's vying for that spot,
Well, I mean, so let me ask you, like, so how seriously are you taking this comedy journey? Like, are you wanting to go to Toronto? Are you wanting to go to Just for Laughs?
I'd love to go to Toronto. I'm not trying to think that I'm like the best of the best. I know I got waves and lengths to go, but I mean, like, it'd be nice. I just want to do something that makes me not bummed out, like I tried working at a factory and I lasted like 4 days and I was like, I can't do this. It was like me and like 80 Filipinos and I just towering over everyone, sorting through people's recycling. No thanks. Thanks.
So like you mentioned Filipinos. The only time that I have ever been a victim of racism was on a cruise ship with Filipinos.
Like, the Filipinos were racist to you?
Yeah.
What did they do? They were like, you don't know how to fish.
No, they wouldn't let me sing karaoke.
They wouldn't let you sing karaoke? What? Like, this guy's gonna fucking come up here and sing Journey.
No, it was like, it wasn't even Journey. I would be happy if they sang Journey. It was like I put my name in the list and my name got kept on bumped and
what
bumped.
Were you gonna sing?
Fucking Everlong by Foo Fighters or some shit like that. But these guys,
they're like, nah, we ain't listening to that white people shit.
Yeah, exactly. They were like,
what were they singing? They were singing like Michael Jackson and shit for sure.
No, they were singing these fucking 7-minute, 8-minute love ballads I had never heard before in my life.
Yeah, like Asian love ballads.
Some legit like old school, like Celine Dion type fucking love ballad shit, like Cher's going fucking crazy.
Oh man, what a bum! And it was on a cruise ship, you said?
Well, I worked on cruise ships for 8 years, so it happened more than once, man. It was
that's super gnarly. How is that, man? I can't believe that. My cousin, she's Australian on my dad's side. She worked on cruise ships forever.
Which one?
I don't know.
Okay. How is cruise ships? I mean, I've had a lot of my friends come on the podcast and like we've kind of shot the shit. I have a few friends that are still on cruise ships right now. Oh really? My God. It's like a paid prison sentence. You go to work, you go to the cabin, you go to work, like there's no real socialization now because
it's a raging party all the time though.
When I was there, yeah. It was you get off work, you go to the bar, you sleep, you work up, you get up early, you work, you sleep, you drink, and it's like, man, there were some real late night bars scenes that happened on the ship. My goodness.
Where you're just like so drunk the next day, like how do I even survive?
The one time my friend
on a ship, like
the one time my friend and I we came back to the cabin like super wasted, and we made a video of how to sober up for the work the next morning.
Like chugging eggs and shit.
Well, no, because he was from South Africa, so we had these like South African pills that sobered you up real quick.
South African pills? Oh man.
Oh no, sorry,
I like this kind of party.
Sorry, he was from Namibia. My apologies. But like he had these pills that were like from South Africa and Namibia, that area, and like I don't know what it was in, but like we were just like drinking like 1.5 liters of water, drinking these pills. Like, this is how you stay sober. My girlfriend, my now wife, was there, and she was on the bed just laughing at us because we were dumbest.
Is that where you met your wife?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't ask me how I make it work. I have no fucking clue.
Hey man, we're all just gunning for something.
But I do remember specifically that the one time we were doing like, so the privilege of that job is that like you get paid pretty good money, and you're not paying rent, you're not paying food services or anything. You're paying your bar bill, which, you know, the highest bar bill I ever had was like $700 at the end of the month, so like half my paycheck sort of thing. So at the end of the world. But all the drinks are discounted, right? So it's like $1.75 for a beer or $4.75 for a pack of cigarettes, sort of thing.
That's pretty sick.
It's pretty dope. But I remember specifically we were doing a Scandinavian cruise, and we were up at the toppest part of Norway, right? And at that point, and like, so we're sailing around the tip of Norway, and at that tip, the sun doesn't set at all, so it's all just summer. So we're at the top. So it's like, God, it's gotta be like 2 a.m. in the morning. We're all wasted. We're drinking. Like, fuck it, why not? And then like the blinds are closed, and I'm like, and this is me fucking with people. I'm like, guys, look, the sun's still up. And I just fucking throw up the curtains. Everyone's like vampires and like, no, stop what you're doing. But like, it was like you saw it like kind of dip, and then so you saw it kind of dip and then like just bounce back up. And then you got to see, it was so cool.
That's super cool.
And one of my goals with comedy is to, you know, like you said, we're still young at it, but like I want to get good enough to the point where like I can like put in like a video reel and get a job as a comedian on a cruise ship just for one cruise.
Yeah,
and then wear my old uniform on stage.
That's amazing. I knew a guy that he was the host on cruise ships. Like he just hosted like the nights, like every night he was just your MC.
Cruise staff,
yeah, that would have been an amazing gig, but I mean, I don't really fuck with the ocean.
Are you John Moxley? Jesus Christ.
It's scary, man. That's with
you're on a boat.
Yeah. What? Boats are scarier.
How many times has a cruise ship actually sunk? Tell me.
I don't know, but the Italian, how many times has an Italian captain left the cruise ship?
I was on ships when that actually happened. That was a big. The amount of new information we had to intake afterwards was super annoying.
You got super bummed out about that one.
It was, and the funniest thing about that is that, like, you know, they're telling us like, you know, only 16 people died or something, and you know.
People died?
Yeah, man. There was 2 people in wheelchairs that were stuck in their cabin. They just drowned to death. Yeah, lots of people died on that ship. Like, I want to say it was like 16 to like 32. And you know, but this is where it gets weird, right? Is we had all this special training afterwards because of that event. Because, you know,
like
our industry.
It's like if your captain bails training.
Yeah. And they were like, you know, only so and so numbers died. And to us, that's a success. It's like, what the fuck? It should never happen to begin with.
they're like, we're batting 1 out of 3. So
it was.
I mean, if you're less than 10% in deaths, you're probably doing all right cruise ship wise.
Man, it was. But the problem with like cruise ships is that, like, and I think it's like it's also relatable to real life, is that like a lot of the people that are become part of your seniority, your management teams, they're not, you know, great. Like, they get those positions because like they're tenured, right? They've been doing it the longest.
Yeah,
just because you've been doing something like for a long time doesn't mean you're good at it, you know?
Yeah. They just stuck around because most people don't want to stick around for their life on a cruise ship.
And that was one of the things that I had to like really like hammer down within myself, is that like, I can't do this forever.
Yeah. No, I was a chef for 12 years, and I like just this year I've refused to take any more cooking jobs because I'm completely over it. There's no need. I just became like such a grump, and I don't want to smell like deep fryers anymore.
Do you like, I mean, that's a kind of like, I worked in kitchens for a long time before I worked on cruise ships, so I that is a environment ripe for misconduct and jokes.
Oh man, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm a stand-up now. It's just like that's all we did, man. It was like you cook all day and you chirp each other. it was like the kitchen from Waiting. Like you're just making fun of everybody all day long. I don't mean that's you get a good backbone standing in the kitchen all day.
No, for real though, right? I mean, like is that something that like with the kids that you and Amber have, like, is if they're looking for their first job, you're like, go work in the kitchen. It'll give you some real character aspects, and also it'll be fun as hell.
Yeah, I think like everybody should at least, like, whether you do a hostess, an expo, a server, a dishwasher, everybody should have like 6 months to a year in the service industry and just be berated, just have the worst management in the world, and just like so then like now when you go to like a good job, you're like, man, I didn't know how good it could be. Like,
but what is a good job these days too? Like I people would think that what I like, you've mentioned on my photographs that you're like, you wish you had my job. Dude, bro, fucking stupid as shit.
Hey man, I love the job I have right now, like doing security. I had a guy I caught 2 dudes in a bathroom stall last night not doing drugs, and then I just like waited outside of the stall for them, and like they like just leaned against the wall, and they came out, and I'm just like, boys, one at a time, please. And they like were so embarrassed. I mean, a guy tried to fight me outside just because I was like, just because he told me to get out of the way. I don't know. I love, like, I think I don't care what about like the money of it. I have a great time just being a security at a bar where you don't have to do anything really. Like, I mean, for the odd time, like you got to drag somebody out, and it can be a shit job some nights, but it's fun.
What is your take on this mentality of like that money cures all? Because I've kind of gotten past the idea of like, you know, money is always gonna be a pain in the ass, but I'm always gonna be able to make money.
I mean, it comes and it goes. That's like,
yeah, but like I feel like so many people are focused on like money, bills, blah, blah. They forget, like, you know, at the end of the day, when you're up on your deathbed, you're not gonna be like, oh, I wish I worked more. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh man, like asking the doctor, like, you got $20, man.
Yeah. I feel
I didn't pay for parking.
I feel so many people are so focused on like, you know, that normalcy of what is not normalcy, but like was designated normal, as opposed to, you know, doing the weird shit. And that's part of the reason why I love doing comedy, because it's so weird. That's the one reason why I love doing wrestling. It's so weird. It's just, there's something about doing the weird shit that people don't respect that just is the best.
Oh man, it's so much fun. You'd be amazed. Like, and once I started comedy, I'm sure you got it too. Like the people that came out of the woodwork, like not about like asking me for anything, but like just congratulating and like being stoked about it. Like I talked to people I hadn't spoken to in like over 20 years.
Well, I mean, that
you're always the class clown. It's good to see you. It's good to see you out there doing stuff.
Well, that's the difference between us. Is like, you have good friends. I do not.
No, man, you haven't met my friends, bro.
My friends were like, why are you doing that? What is wrong with you? You should stop doing that.
I mean, like, there's friends that are like, that they're like, they didn't even take it for real at first. Like they were friends that like, yeah, okay. And then they come out and they like, afterwards, they're like, man, I didn't know it was like that.
I wish I had like people that could come out and see me perform. Like I'm trying to get a spot in May where a lot of my friends live. So I'm going to try and hopefully get.
Where's this?
Like Showtime Comedy Club.
Where's this?
St. Catharines.
Okay, St. Catharines.
Dude, try and I'll send you the guy's name. Try and get booked for a show in St. Catharines. They have a real good setup there. It's dope as shit.
I'll definitely
they have a legit comedy club.
Oh man, that's what we need in London. I mean, like, we got yucks, but
that's probably the best thing I hear all day.
That was me.
Oh man. So like I love it. It's so much fun. Like, so with the comedy now, and you're performing and you're writing and you're doing it, You also got the Forest City Scum going on. You are also doing acting as well. I mean, are you? Does it behoove you to like just have you do so many different things that keep you active, like in creativity?
I did a lot of nothing for a long time, and I've always wanted to do stuff. I've always just been a procrastinator and shit. So like this year, I was just making sure that I keep trying. I was acting in something the other day, and it was just like it's just a fucking school project for a Fanshawe student, right? But I mean, it was fun. I got to play the role of Justin Timberlake in The Social Network for a scene, one single scene.
So how does that fucking work exactly?
I don't know, man. These kids were filming, like they had to do like a shot by shot remake of a scene, and they posted in London film community. They needed an actor, so I responded. I bet you nobody else responded. That's how I got it. I have no experience.
Is that the thing I sent you?
No, I did an audition yesterday for that thing though.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, for Dr. Richard Moore. Fingers crossed I get it.
Okay, Doc.
He's kind of like a Michael Scott kind of character.
I want you to like dye your beard white and with a cane, and you just you're the doctor from Jurassic Park, and just do the role that way.
Oh, you did it, you crazy bastard! You did it.
No, you're. Yeah, with a limp, just like walking.
What was his name? It was Attenborough. It's not. He's not.
No, Attenborough is the guy that does the documentaries.
No, but that old dude's Attenborough as well.
Is he?
There's like Richard Attenborough and somebody else Attenborough. I think he was a director.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
From Jurassic Park?
Yes, I believe it's Richard Attenborough.
David Attenborough is a documentary filmmaker.
That's David Attenborough is the Planet Earth guy, right?
Yeah.
Richard Attenborough is Jurassic Park.
Oh, Richard. Okay, yeah, Dick Attenborough. Cool.
Yeah.
You were right. I was wrong.
I know my movie trivia, man. Don't play games with me.
All right. Well, let's let's talk about some films. I know you and I are big, like we both cried during Spider-Man No Way From Home.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me plug in my laptop.
I mean, we both cried. It was fantastic.
Yes.
It was
the most tragic movie I've ever seen.
Nah, you haven't seen some terribly, truly bad films.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think your and I's definition of tragedy is different because for me personally, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, that is tragedy 101.
I don't know, man. Shia LaBeouf was pretty good.
You shut your whore mouth.
What about that scene with the lead-lined refrigerator?
Bro, my friend and I went and saw the movie and we were high as fuck, and by the end of it we were like, we need to be higher. It was so bad.
Yeah, I've never actually sat through that movie. I only get through I don't even think I make it through Shia LaBeouf's motorcycle scene.
It's truly like, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, fuck me.
What's worst movie you've ever seen in a theater?
In a theater?
Yeah, because Netflix has lots of stuff.
I don't even. Oh man. I think I sat through that Predator remake with Topher Grace.
You think that was the worst movie you've ever seen? It had some
in theaters. I was a movie rental kid growing up. I didn't see a lot of movies in theaters.
Oh, God bless Blockbuster.
Right? And Jumbo Video, man. Jumbo Video was my shit. And that, I was twice a week at Blockbuster Video. And every Friday for sure, my mom would take me there. She'd sit in the car and I could just walk the aisles for 2 hours and literally just read the back of every single movie. I loved Blockbuster, man. But what's my favorite movie is Dazed and Confused.
Okay, yeah.
What's your favorite movie? Like, what's the first one that pops?
Collateral.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Collateral is my favorite. That performance by Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and the cinematography, the way it's shot in the
That was kind of a game changer for Jamie Foxx, right around then.
that movie was incredible. I still, and like,
It's a Spielberg, isn't it?
no, Michael Mann. It's the
Michael
last good
Mann.
one he's done. Really. So, speaking of that, worst movies I've seen, right?
Yeah.
I saw a Nicolas Cage film called Bangkok Dangerous in theaters. That was truly terrible.
I remember seeing the cover for that.
It was truly terrible. I saw that in
theaters.
I
How
saw
many
that.
people
I saw that
laughed at
in.
you as you paid for the ticket?
I saw that in a theater in Welland, Ontario.
Oh. Never mind. Nobody was laughing at you. They're too busy smoking meth.
And then another one was I watched the Michael Mann film with Chris Hemsworth from a few years ago, and it was like, I love Michael Mann from Collateral and like Heat, but like the plot and like the pacing of this film was just, it was truly terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, I don't have patience. Like I watch the same shit over and over pretty much, unless it's like a new Marvel movie or if it's been talked about a lot. Like I watched Pig with Nicolas Cage. That was a star
How was that?
for this year. It was wild, man. I loved it. Like actually incredible movie.
About the truffle pig, right? The
truffle on
like
pig. It's like a kind of John Wicky, but like much more beautifully done.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this fucking stupid movie that I watched. Black Hat. Oh, terrible.
Oh, that was a pirate movie or like a.
It was a cyber com sort of thing where like,
okay.
he was a jailed cyber hacker and they needed to take him out, but he knew how to fight and stuff.
Yeah, I got no time for like your basic action. I don't watch action movies anymore.
I don't know, man. Like, there's some good shit out there. I mean, Raid Redemption.
It's just all the same
film.
in such CG now that.
Well, no, that's where you got.
Like, I'm obviously gonna watch every single thing that Marvel puts out and cry and scream like a little schoolgirl.
Well, I mean, so like that's the thing, though, right? It's like you gotta find the stuff that isn't CGI. I mean, like there's some great stuff out there that still uses practical martial arts and practical effects.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just gotta find it. I mean,
like watching Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett right now, the amount of practical effects and just like dudes
and
in
how
masks,
much better it makes the fucking experience.
And that's
right?
the thing, is how much more real it feels is so much better. I mean, yeah. And like not to mention the amount of cameos that you get out of it all. It's just all fan service now.
The last movie
that got me wrapped around their finger.
So the last movie that I watched just by myself, because like, it's, I don't know if you have this problem, but you're with your partner and you're trying to find something to watch and you're like, they don't want to watch it. It's like, well, fuck you, I'll watch myself, that goddamn it.
Yeah. And I'm like, I always just put on like Parks and Rec or The Office, because like I just I can just watch it. I can watch it over and over and over. And if I'm watching a movie, it's always gonna be like a superhero movie.
Well, the last one I watched that was actually very good. And like I really enjoyed. Like it was actually, I really liked it. Was The Harder They Fall.
I don't know. I've heard of it.
So that has Idris Elba in it, Regina King.
Okay, yeah, the Western, dude, with all the black actors.
Yeah, it's dope as shit. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looked like a beauty, man.
You'd like it because it is like.
I heard the music's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really good. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
And
I loved we're gonna watch Nightmare Alley tomorrow night. Guillermo del Toro's new one.
Ooh, yeah, he's the guy that doesn't hit or doesn't. Sorry, he's the guy that hits almost every single time.
Yeah, almost every single time. Crimson Peak was a bit much for me, but
my wife said the same. She just watched it because of Tom Hiddleston. She's a huge Hiddleston fan. Loves it.
Me too.
Yo, if you like something that has practical effects and like is fucking, if you like James Bond, like The Night Manager with Tom Hiddleston and Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that was a great BBC series.
Yeah. Oh man, that was just a limited series, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like so, like when you're saying like you don't watch action stuff that has CGI, it's like, dude, there's so much content out there. There's so much to watch.
That's the thing. We're being.
I mean, you don't have to limit yourself. That's the thing. It's like so many people want to put themselves in these boxes. It's like,
I watch a lot more now that I have this IPTV thing. It's like $15 a month, and it's every channel in the world. And so like I just go to the movie channels and I watch, like it makes Amber mad because I got going and I'll watch like 5 movies almost at a time. Like I'll watch 4 minutes and then 4 minutes and just be scanning the channels back and forth, but watching the movies essentially because I'm always ADHD and out.
are you saying with like, so like with the stuff I watch, I watch like wrestling, sports, and very rarely do I have time for like TV shows or movies, unfortunately. Like we just finished watching Dexter, the new one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I never got into Dexter, even the old one.
So I was very hesitant because I did watch the old one and it ended so poorly. This one redeemed itself quite a bit, which I'm very happy with.
The one thing I watch when I'm home every day is like at 6 o'clock, I watch the London news. I'm like an 80-year-old man. Like I watch the London news and then I watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. and I yell at the TV. Like imagine like an armchair expert with football yelling at the TV. That's me during Wheel of Fortune. I'm like, you idiot! Like I lose my mind.
I do the same thing, but I do it with Family Feud. that's my
joke. And then Jeopardy, the first round of Jeopardy is always pretty good. I get like a few of them, and then it's like silence for double Jeopardy, and then nobody gets anything in final.
So, I mean, all right, you never answered. Like, what is the worst movie you saw in theaters?
I don't even know.
See, the thing is, like, if it's the worst, you don't remember it. Like, how do you not remember that pain? A pain that money.
For me, I always had a good time at a movie theater. I don't think
high as fuck. Come on, man. No one has a bad time when they're high unless they're having a panic attack.
And then when I went and saw movies as a kid, it was like Power Rangers and Ace Ventura. So like obviously the best movies of all time.
With the purple dude with the chin.
Oh, Ivan Ooze, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dosea, and they got the ninjetti powers.
So like, what did you think of that fan-made film about Power Rangers
with James Vanderbeek?
Holy shit! Right?
It was all right. I mean, it was much better than what they gave us with Bryan Cranston as Zordon.
I liked that movie. I didn't think it was that bad.
It was okay, but I mean, the James Vanderbeek thing was much cooler.
Yeah, I wish they'd gotten a sequel for the Power Rangers one because so did I. Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Although they did my dude Goldar real bad in that.
Oh yeah,
Goldar was not what I expected him to be.
Just a giant nothing machine.
Yeah, Goldar has to have like essentially like. Goldar looked like my dog in a gold suit as a kid. I just remember thinking it was my dog.
So like there was this whole like revolution happening with like TV and film where like all the stuff that we grew up with is now becoming more popularized and being remade. What a time to be alive, eh? What's a property that you would like to see get the live action treatments?
Spider-Man and his amazing friends, like Spider-Man and Iceman and Firestorm. That was my shit.
So you can't do Spider-Man because it's already being done.
Okay. Well, I mean, I really liked Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Oh, bro, yes.
they hung out with like a mummy and a Frankenstein and a vampire that was Elvis somehow. That was my shit. Like,
my parents are always like, "Oh, you mean the Jay Leno clown with the Jay?"
the Jay Leno clown. He was Jay Leno. Ah. Oh man, like he always had a musical number in like each episode. I still have a VHS of Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Oh Jesus Christ! I want to come over and get high with you and watch it.
Oh man. They have one of the best theme songs. It's on there's a streaming app called Big Bad Beetleborgs.
And that was Metallic afterwards.
Yeah. Oh man. They if there's a streaming app called Tubi, it's like TUBI.
Yeah.
And it's all free, but they have some of the best 1990s, like our generation of television show content. They have Beast Wars, Transformers. They got Freaky Stories. They got Reboot.
All right,
Reboot.
so Reboot's one that I would love to see come back.
I mean, they brought it back, but they did it real dirty.
No, we're not talking about that. That's not a thing.
That real dirty. I was so excited, and I got like 2 minutes in, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
No, it was like Animorphs Lights. It was the worst.
Oh, Animorphs would be a good one to see come back.
Yeah, they actually still write the books. I saw one at a store.
What? They still write the books.
Yeah.
My God.
So for me personally, like, I want to see like a live. I feel like a live action Gundam Wing Zero would be dope as shit. Because
they could really do it well now.
Yeah, like and when
that's one that you like, it has to be CG, right? So like
well, I mean, like, yes and no, but like you watch Pacific Rim and you're like, okay, it can be done. You watch Godzilla, it can be done in the right sense. But it was never about the Gundam battles. It was always about the characters that are in the Gundam sort of thing. Like that endless waltz scene where like Zero's like pointing at the fucking things. Fucking like, that's dope as shit.
I mean, I love all that. Like, I mean, Pacific Rim for me was, the first one was okay. The second one was way past the mark of anything good.
And so like, speaking of like comedy and stuff, speaking of like, it's coming from like a real place, right? Like Pacific Rim 2 came from a place of just money. Like you need that, you need that realism to like actually be good and make money. You can do the same thing.
Like it's like those Michael Bay Transformers movies that they feel like they have like a like you it's the same. It's like 3 fucking people running, and then they always have like a young comedian to like, that's like the the comic relief, and then they have like
one day.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'll take the job, man. Shit.
But like that first Transformers film was awesome as hell, and then
hey man, I love all the Transformers films. I don't know why. I find.
Well, and speaking of bad movies, my friend and I walked out of the one with Kelsey Grammer. Like, this is not worth it.
Oh man, you walked out on Frasier?
Yeah,
no,
Frasier.
That one was dope. I didn't even know Kelsey Grammer was in it. And like my boy Frasier comes out. Oh, listen. I mean, I also didn't pay to go see it though. So
yeah, no. So like, listen, I paid to go see the movie, and like, Frasier is a goat, but also you had Stanley Tucci just screaming.
I was gonna say, wasn't it Tucci?
What are you doing, man? You're better than this.
Yeah. Oh man, Frasier and the Tooch. Yeah. That's just incredible casting.
Can we get a buddy cop film with those 2 motherfuckers in it? Let's do that, shall we?
It's gotta be like The Devil Wears Prada, but with Stanley Tucci and Kelsey Grammer. And like Tom Holland as the Anne Hathaway character. Like they're remaking everything with women now. Why don't we make women movies with dudes?
Next time you go for that shot for shot remake from Fanshawe, let's do like an all males version of like Ocean's 12 or 14, whatever it is. Oh, you mean like the original? Like, no, this would be different.
No. Well, we're remaking Ocean's 8 with men. So Ocean's 11. No. No, what you're not getting here. Didn't the director of that women's Ghostbuster movie get real upset that they weren't included in the Ghostbusters DVD box set. He's like, this is just straight disrespectful. It's like, I think what you did to the Ghostbusters franchise is disrespectful.
So like, let's talk about that person. Like as a comedians and everything. I mean, like, you're seeing all these like properties get changed over from like, it's like they're getting changed and they're getting adapted to what's popular in this culture. But like, it's weird because like comedy is such a like you can't go like you or I or any white comedian can't go back and remake an Eddie Murphy special, right? like could you imagine?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't remake specials. You can't you can remake movies kind of, but like,
yeah, but they never seem.
Who's gonna remake Beverly Hills Cop with a white dude?
No, Michael Pena is gonna be the new Beverly Hills Cop, man. So that's what's gonna.
Is he really?
No, that would be a terrible idea.
No, you know what? I wouldn't.
Well, actually, no. Michael Pena could be actually very good at it. I
was gonna say. Yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah, he's taking down a
Axel Foley
or some shit like that.
Yeah,
let's do that instead of like doing Chips.
Oh fuck! Didn't Dax Shepard produce that?
Yeah, he put all of his own money into doing that sort of ridiculous thing.
The Hit and Run was good, wasn't that? Dax Shepard put all his money into that Hit and Run, and it was good. Like he wrote that, and I think directed it.
Thank God he's got all that Frozen money from his wife.
Yeah, right. He's just now like a stay-at-home dad. He just does podcasting and like lives off Disney money.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Kristen Bell just goes around and does actual work, actual acting.
Yeah.
Like Dax Shepard just plays himself in every role.
That being said, one of my favorite comedies of all time is Without a Paddle.
It is a beautifully, and I'm pretty sure Canadian produced movie.
Yeah, and so like it's weird how like in Canada, like there's some really good content that's made from Canadians for
Going the Distance. Remember that comedy movie?
Yeah, Mambo Italiano, I think it was a great one as well.
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek, obviously.
Yeah,
but like it's weird how like, you know, so many things. Like as a Canadian, like no one really talks about Canadian content unless it's popularized. Like no one's willing to give it a shot.
Unless it's Drake, yeah. I mean, like we were the originators of like essentially the SNL shit. Like SCTV, Second City was all, you know.
I'm so psyched for that fucking New Kids on the Block coming back.
Oh man, that's like those guys themselves. Think about how those guys spread off throughout.
Look at the careers of each of those four men and look how much they've done. Like it's astonishing.
It's insane. Dave Foley, man, he's just, I know that new Amazon reality show with comedians looks amazing.
No, it's not. Trust me.
I'm down for it.
No, so they did that same concept on an Australian show with Rebel Wilson, and I got like 15 minutes into it, and it's like it was terrible because like it's
isn't funny.
What?
Rebel Wilson isn't funny.
No, but she was the host of so it was a bunch of Australian comedians. So it's a concept that's been done before.
Yeah.
And so
I knew it was a remake.
Yeah, and so like I tried to get 50 minutes into it, and it was like comedians are supposed to laugh. They're supposed to have a good time. When you take that element away from them, it's not great.
A bit of a battle, yeah.
Like the show should be like, how badly can you make someone laugh? And if they hit like a certain like voice level, then they get eliminated. Yeah, like if they hit a certain decibel of laughter, then they're kicked off. That's how it should be, because then they'd be entertaining.
Yeah, you have to laugh. Who can laugh the hardest?
Yeah, well, no, who can make someone else laugh the hardest? That should be the concept of the show, because then it's entertaining. Like trying to keep people from not laughing, especially comedians. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? Are we trying to take joy away from our hearts? Oh, fucking ridiculous. Anyways, this has been an hour-long podcast of us just shooting the fucking shit.
I'm just shooting the shit. I love it, man. I loved it. This is exactly how podcasts should be.
fucking.
I think we talked about everything.
Well, all right. Let's talk about Forest City Scum before we leave. We'll get some shameless promotion. What is Forest City Scum? What is it? How did you get involved with it? That sort of thing.
This is me and my best friend Phil. This is him on the shirt, taking a dump. It's our clothing company. We started up. He used to own a clothing company with a friend of his called Broken to Black, and they put out this shirt that sold like just hundreds of fucking pieces of it. That was the old. It's this design behind me. Those are the old London street preachers. Those pieces of shit guys that used to harass women downtown. And so he just put Forest City Scum around it, and one day we were just shooting the shit, and I was like, why don't we just make Forest City Scum the brand and then put that on every shirt that we make? And we just started going for it. So at the Forest City Scum on Facebook and Instagram.
And do you guys have your own like little spots to make the shirts, or are you outhousing those?
We do it direct to garment right now. So like we have a site. It's linked in our profiles that you go to, and you can just order whatever you want. We got tons of different stuff. Got like leggings. We got shoes now. They just have fart clouds on them.
Like with like a whiff.
It says poot in a green cloud.
Those are your flip flops.
Yeah. Oh no, they're actual high tops.
Okay.
Yeah. We got lots of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm dry this February, so check out on my profile. I got dry February stuff and Oliver Twist on Thursday. I mean, I don't know when you're dropping this thing, but
probably in 2 weeks time.
All right.
So not this week. I usually it'll be down. So like you started your own show, right? Do you feel like that's like the way to like get the more, because like we both signed for Poachers, but there's no guarantee we get a spot. So like, and I do Fork River, that gives me my time to do my thing. Yeah. Did you create like 765 out of necessity just so you'd have a spot to kind of like do
765 is already going on. There was a guy, Itai Cooperman was running it, and I guess he didn't, for the winter, he didn't want to keep coming down from Toronto each week, so he had offered it around and nobody was taking it, so I took it over, and then I was tired of trying to make sure I can fill up 2 hours of comedy every Tuesday.
Just turn it into an open mic. I think that's what we're gonna do with the Forked River Nights, is just turn it into
but that's what I was trying to do, but nobody came, because I guess 765 is I'm not saying anything about 765.
No, but what do other people say about it?
Oh, I mean, you know what it is. It's a dive.
No, I've never been.
No,
I'm signed up for I think I've got the 8th going on.
Nice. I mean, it's a fun spot. It's an East End bar, man.
What is with people? What is with fucking people not wanting to perform in front of like dangerous environments? I fucking love that.
It's not a dangerous environment.
No, but
it was literally like.
I'm not saying like it's dangerous, like you're getting stabbed or shot, but I mean it's dangerous in terms of like it's a whole new atmosphere. Like it's people that don't really want to see like that's.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll go to any microphone and stand in front of it. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I was in Corner Brook in Newfoundland once. I was doing some shoot there, and there was an open mic, and they were just muting music, and I just went up and did like 8 minutes of comedy for fucking whatever.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Why not?
I'll give it a go. I'll get it in front of anybody. I'll do it in any country, any language. I won't understand it, but
I was vacationing in England. I did a set in England.
Wow, how cool was that?
It was fun. It was awesome.
Did they understand it? Or they're like, look at this guy.
They speak English there, man.
Well, I mean, like, did they get your comedy?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, there were things that were missed in translation. But that's to be expected. I mean, like, I think it's fascinating, like that Tom's Girl is going to be doing a full like Spanish album.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, I watched Felipe Esparza's. He did like a half and half for Netflix, and I watched both halves. It's really hard to laugh when you're reading closed captions. I can tell you that much.
Well, the good thing is, like, I have my wife who speaks Spanish, so she can tell me if it's funny or not.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So that's why you get a Spanish.
And I got my Duolingo as well. I'm learning slowly but surely.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been learning French on and off, but.
What can I say in Spanish? Yo come el hamburger. I eat a hamburger. No, fuck. Never mind. It's not going great. It's not going great. I'm gonna stumble out.
See.
Brother, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
It was not a most professional one, but I loved it nonetheless.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Before we leave, where can people, like you mentioned 4C Scum, where can people find you on like Instagram, Twitter? I know that we have to do those things as
Instagram is at Colin Winchester Comedy, and then Facebook is I don't tweet. Facebook is just Colin Winchester. So thanks so much for having me on, man. I had a blast.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation with Colin. Again, I had such a blast with that podcast because we were just kind of like, we were just shooting the shit. We were having a good time. We were just joking and laughing. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys go through the rest of your week enjoying life, not taking everything too seriously. And we'll see you guys down the line next week. Cheers.